on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, but for the time being, we'll be talking about HTML. So, what is HTML? It's actually a standard markup language. The way it says, HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. Okay, but what is it? It's actually uh, it's there's not much maths into it. It's basically a scripting language which you write down in terms of English so that you could describe how a web page will be structured. It's not like programming where you have loops and all that, but it's something where you place text, images, videos, maybe you change the layout and all that. So that's what HTML does. That's its overview. What HTML does is that um, it takes a document, breaks them up into nodes, and then they just display it. So what is HTML? It is just HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is the standard markup language for creating web pages. HTML describes the structure of a web page. It consists of a series of elements, and HTML elements tell the browsers how to display the content. HTML elements label pieces of content such as this. Okay, we don't have to talk about it. Codes right now. Before that, we already talked about elements. I will show you what elements are in the upcoming video. But for today's video, I will just go through it in English. I'll just go through it in English. What are elements? Elements are elements that make up the entire web page. For example, text, videos, images, lists, tables, data, whatever it is, links. They could be anything. And non-replaced HTMLs. What is non-replaced HTML elements? Sorry, my bad. Non-replaced elements are basically those elements which both have a closing and an ending tag. For now, just keep in your mind what I'm saying, and I will just show you what these mean later in the next video. And then there are replace and void elements. Void elements basically are elements that doesn't have anything inside it. You can just put it up just for show. For example, let's say comments or pseudo elements and all that. Yeah, they're fully stylable as well. No, they're not stylable. That's no, they're not just stylable. So let's say depending on the type of object and process, the applicable styles are limited. For example, most processors are able to styling of UI widgets and related to class elements. In this case, of raster images, height, clipping, width, and they're not easy. On the other hand, vector graphics. And what are attributes? Attributes are basically attributes. So let's say you have a node. Okay, you remember what nodes are? Elements of nodes. So let's say each element of node can have attributes. And attributes are basically those things that have more than just one element, and that are more than just one element type in the opening tag. Let's say in image. Okay, now let's talk about tags. What are tags? Tags and elements are the same thing. Elements are basically enclosed by tags, so they can also be called tags. They're like nodes. Now these nodes have a certain way of writing themselves. Now if I wanted to write a text, I would simply just use the paragraph tag or p tag. I will show it to you in the next video. Now this video is just an overview. You just listen to me and then try to make what it means and all that. Just try to make up a map in your mind. That's all. I'm just trying to give you that small. I'm just trying to give you the information about the small changes. Now, what are the tags? Tags are basically those elements that how those elements are shown, how those elements are written, how those elements are read by the computer. Right now, we write tags in our editors or IDEs. We write them in English, and the computer he understands it the way he has to, and then he just makes something up on the web browser when you run the HTML file. So what are tags? Tags are basically the uh, are basically elements or the tags are basically letters that are confined in between two two angle brackets. Okay, two angle brackets, and that's when they form a tag. For example, where the image tag is written like this. Now what are attributes? Attributes are basically those tags that have one more than one property to it. For example, in text tag we write paragraph, we use the p tag to write text. Now to show image, we write the img tag, and then we also have to provide source and alt. So over here we have two more stuff to work with, source and alt. So that those source and alts can be known as it. So these are more like attributes to that image tag. If you are at img, computer would the browser or the engine would automatically know that it's actually it's actually a tag. But then when they also read the source and all, they're like, okay, so these are also attributes that this tag has. So that's how HTML is written. That's the thing about HTML. There can be one tag, or there can be an opening and closing tag, which are called on replace tags. There could be only the opening tag and no closing tag, or self-closing tags. There are elements. We know what elements are. We know what HTML is. So basically, that is how things go. That you will be using them in a loop. So that's how it goes. And this is all for this video. And in the next video, show you I will show you by writing in hand what all these mean. So for this video, I hope you understood it. Replay the things I have already told you, and I'll be giving you guys this I'll giving you guys this note. I will setting it up in YouTube, so download it as well. You read from it. It will help you a lot, and also do some researches on it on other websites. But for now, this video will conclude. I'll conclude this video right over here. And thanks for watching.